I am not skinny or glamorous, and I don't know that much about fashion, but I'm smart.
I was the ugliest girl around, overweight and not very stylish. When I went to interview for an assistant job with Miranda, the editor-in-chief of the fashion magazine every girl dreamed of working for, she looked me up and down like I was a walking disaster. Luckily, I was smart and quick on my feet, so she gave me a trial. I didn't even have time to celebrate before I realized on my very first day that this job was a nightmare. I had to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to squeeze into the subway. My phone had to be on 24/7. I couldn't leave my desk for even a minute because I had to be ready for Miranda's orders. The scariest part was that you could never guess what she wanted next. But it wasn't just the work that was crushing me. I couldn't even eat in peace. When I tried to have some corn chowder and bread, my supervisor told me I'd get fat if I ate like that. I was shocked. Did girls here just not eat? Before I could even take 2 bites, my supervisor got a phone call, and I had to drop my food and run to work. Sometimes I didn't understand their job at all. They would argue for half an hour over 2 belts that looked exactly the same. I couldn't help but laugh out loud, which got their attention. Miranda chewed me out, saying I was dressed like a grandma and had no right to laugh at them. Later, she called me into her office and yelled at me again. I felt more and more worthless. I started to think I must have been crazy to come here, but then I saw my coworkers walking through the office, confident in their 4-inch heels and carrying limited edition handbags. Suddenly I thought, maybe I didn't want to be an outsider forever. So the next day I wore a fitted dress, high heels, and perfect makeup for the first time. My coworkers were shocked. Even Miranda looked up and gave me an extra glance. From then on, I started acting like I belonged in fashion. I worked harder, learned to read Miranda's mind, and could tell what she wanted with just one look. I slowly earned her trust, and she even announced in front of everyone that she was going to mentor me. I was thrilled, but the faster I climbed, the more my life spun out of control. My friends said I'd changed and never had time for them. My boyfriend complained I cared more about my job than him. I even turned down a dinner my dad had been planning for months because I was too busy. I kept telling myself this was the price I had to pay, that this job would lead me to my dream career as a journalist. But then, during a trip to Paris, I saw Miranda ruin a longtime colleague's career in one sentence, just to protect her own power. In that moment, I realized I was becoming her. I started asking myself, was all this worth it? One day I made my choice. I dropped the phone Miranda used to reach me into a fountain and walked away without saying goodbye. I changed back into my most comfortable flats and stepped into the sunlight, breathing freely for the first time in months. I lost a glamorous title, but I found myself again.